What's up, guys? We are back. It has been, I think race week ended on Monday last week, and today is Monday again. So, a little bit of an update for you guys. Give you a little bit of updates on the Civic, on the Supra, on the S14 outside, a bunch of little things like that. So this is mostly going to be a little bit of an update video and kind of the plans for the next week or so, and kind of tell you my thoughts on the Supra. You know, driving that thing. Basically drove it 1,600 miles, and you know, kind of I was thinking about what I would change on it, and you know, first of all, it would probably be the clutch. You know, that would be the number one. But other than that, I mean, the whole car, the whole time, literally didn't have to do anything to it other than that issue where I had the wrong fuel cap, and it basically would pressurize during the day, and it would just it would collapse the whole fuel tank at night, and it bent the bracket and everything. So we thought that we had a fuel pump that went out, and literally all it was it just bent the hell out of the bracket and did that stuff. So just basically getting down here to the shop after about a week, because went home Monday night, hung out on Tuesday with Jamie and my oldest daughter Carson, and then on Wednesday morning Jamie's water broke basically to have the baby. So we went to the hospital. I think we got there about 11 or so, and she ended up having our second daughter Kinsley at about 11:16 at night on July 1st. So we have a happy, healthy, I guess, second baby, and her name is Kinsley, and it's a little girl. So yeah, if you guys want to see a little bit of that video, I will put that at the end. I basically just did some iPhone vlogging, like as soon as we got to the hospital and stuff. I wasn't going to make like a full video about it, but since this is an update video, that is, you know, that's an update. So yeah, stick around to the end of the video if you guys want to see that. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and update, or you know, yank some of the stuff out of the Supra. This is kind of all the stuff that we had packed in here for the week. All right, so we got the back of the Supra all cleared out. Should be good to go. Cleaned out some of the stuff from the inside, and so you can see we got all these stickers on here. So these were the sponsors of like the classes and the events and stuff. So I just don't, I mean, they're like cheap stickers anyhow, so they're gonna fade. They don't really look that cool on there. It's cool when everybody had them, but now that the car's just out here by itself, I'm gonna continue to yank these things off. So things that I would change for the Supra, things that I'm probably gonna change is obviously the clutch. I would like to switch the clutch to either something else, or there is a company that actually makes a 6R80 kit, which the 6R80 is the six-speed automatic transmission out of like the 2015 Mustangs, but they're in like F-150s and I think F-150s and stuff like that too. But it's a really good transmission. They're proven to hold a lot of power, especially with just some upgraded, like some simple upgraded clutches, and they have a standalone controller to actually control the tranny. What I think would be really cool is ECU Master is actually coming out with the EMU Pro, supposedly by the end of the year. I think they're still working on a couple little things with it, but with that, you could basically run a full like V12 with twin throttle bodies on full sequential like injection. You might have to batch the like some the coils or something like that, do like some waste spark stuff, but you should be able to run full sequential injection on that with twin drive-by-wire throttle bodies and like twin VVTi and crazy stuff like that. But it is also going to have a really good automatic transmission control. So that is one thing that I think would be really cool, is to actually get the 6R80 in here with the paddle shifters and have it actually controlled by an EMU Pro. So kind of waiting on that a little bit. I was already talking to Zach from ECU Master about that, and I think that would be really cool. And I still have the transmission from the EcoBoost Mustang just sitting over there, which is the 6R80. So yeah, would like to do that. Other than that, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I would like to get a drag wheel and tire setup, maybe not the 15s in the back, maybe get like a 17 or like a 16 with like a decent radial on it, or maybe just move to a bias ply. But if I was going to do like a drag week style event with this thing again, I would definitely like to bring a trailer. There was just a lot of things that I would have wanted to bring. Obviously, a set of radials or a set of slicks to swap on and off of it, just to get better passes. But also to be able to bring some extra fuel, extra canopy, extra parts and stuff like that too. And it would be cool to have 1,000 horsepower. So, you know, this car, it makes, at M-Spec, it made 580. and you know, Mustang dyno and stuff like that, but it has trapped 135, and it weighs like 3,400 pounds. So pretty quick car. It's definitely fast. I think we could, you know, if we could launch it hard, we could definitely get it down probably into the mid 10s, which is really sick for a freaking street car, you know, stock motor, all that type of stuff. But it would be cool to push the limits a little bit more with it, make a little bit more power, maybe a set of cams and a little bit bigger turbo. It'd be sick to throw one of the G42s like we have on the Civic on there. I think that would probably be about the perfect turbo for it. But yeah, as far as the Civic right now, basically we had that issue. It was Saturday at the track. Basically my crank came loose, or the flywheel came loose, and so you can see it egged out some of the holes, busted off one of the things. So I had another crank, but this crank was one out of another motor that actually threw a rod, or bent a rod and shot it through the thing. So it wasn't rod knocking or anything, but I just decided I didn't want to risk it and deal with that whole situation, like, you know, doing all the miles and stuff that we did. And I'm really glad that we actually took the Supra. It gave me something to do with it, because it's just been kind of sitting in the garage for a while. And yeah, pretty stoked about that. So the plans for the Civic, I want to pin the crank, the keyway on the crank, because it actually broke the little timing thing. So I almost wonder if that's kind of why we were having some issues with it launching and doing some weird stuff like that. So I'd like to pin the crank, pin that little gear on there, so that we don't have any, you know, timing variation, or that it doesn't crack that again. Get an ATI dampener and sleeve the motor, and maybe get a new set of pistons, because those ones didn't seem like they were worn on the bottom of the skirt. But you know, I don't know. I think new set of pistons use the same rods that were out of that, or in that engine. So you can see the engine is literally just sitting here upside down, ready to go. And I think I might have talked about it a little bit. Those scores on the cylinder wall were in the exact spot where I notched the block. So, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if maybe there was a little burr or something right there. But yeah, that was my situation right before we left for race week. And basically just didn't even want to deal with it. Just wanted to hop in the Supra and enjoy my time, which I'm glad we did. And I was also kind of concerned about Jamie being, you know, so far along pregnant, that if there was something that happened, I didn't want to be broken down trying to swap a motor in a parking lot in Kansas when we had the Supra that was pretty much ready to go. All we had to do was hop in it. So I definitely think the Supra was the move. Civic, again, sleeve motor, all that type of stuff. I would really like 1,000 out of it. I think that would be sick. I want to run an 8 with this thing before the end of the year. That's the goal. And with that power, I don't think we should have any issues as long as we can launch it and get it going down the track. I want to rebuild the viscous, get a little bit heavier fluid in it, and do basically stuff like that, clean up some more stuff on it. A lot of people have been asking about the C10 and you know, kind of what the plans are with it and why it's just kind of been sitting here. So initially, the reason behind buying the C10 at first was just because of basically COVID happened, and right then we were supposed to be going down to Cletus and Cars and doing a bunch of like little events and stuff like that out of state. And I was just kind of panicked a little bit, and I was like, man, I need content. Like, the Civic is broken. You know, we can't do anything with it because the tracks are all closed. So I was like, okay, let's get a cool project that I think would be relevant. I've been kind of looking for C10s for a little while, and so I just kind of decided to do this. And then kind of at that same time, everything kind of started to open back up, and then we started doing some stuff with the Civic, and then we were potentially going to go down to Florida for the Burnout Rivals, and then race week, you know, all that stuff. And then we tried to then kind of the same thing happened with the S14. We were kind of doing a like clearing house thing, you know, where it's like, okay, I have too many projects and too many cars laying around. Let's get rid of the S14. Let's paint it, you know, swap the SR in it, do all that type of stuff so that we could actually sell it. And so that was kind of the plan too. So I think we're going to be pulling that thing in tomorrow after I get the shop all cleaned up from basically the huge mess that we made prepping for race week. As you can see, there's just tons and tons of crap just absolutely everywhere, and I've already been in here for an hour or so cleaning some stuff up. So yeah, mostly today is a cleanup day. Really would like to figure this out. There is a streetcar takeover event at Vandermeer on the 10th or the 11th, I believe, which was the initial due date for our daughter. But yeah, so it'd be cool to make it in the Civic, but maybe we could take the Supra, or maybe we won't go at all. I don't know. I would like to get back on the C10, but that will definitely be after we get the S14 painted. And as far as the van outside, the 4x4 van, I just kind of want to sell that thing. Like, it's just sitting right there. You guys can see it. Give you guys a little tunnel vision out there. Anyhow, I would like to sell that thing, and it's basically just sitting around. So I don't know, gonna clean up some more stuff. I need to pull in the Saab and change the coil packs and spark plugs and the oil on that thing, because it's been far too long. Lots of things. Alright, so stickers are all off of the Supra. Looking kind of clean again. I haven't decided when I should pull these off. These stickers, we actually put them on before SEMA, and you can see they're kind of trying to peel up a little bit, just because we actually did that above the ceramic coating, or on top of the ceramic coating. So a little bit of an issue there, but I went ahead and did a couple little things to my the old reliable daily driver. So just changed the oil and the coil packs and the spark plugs on the Saab. Ty was borrowing it for about 2 weeks. He had something was wrong with his headlights in his car, and basically had to get replacement housings. He had some LED conversion thing in there, but anyhow, they finally got that figured out. So finally got my Saab back, and because I've been driving my truck, before we did the whole race week thing. But so this is, you'll have to let me know what you think. So this thing is a V6 turbo, so it has basically a little Y pipe that comes up here and goes into this single turbo. This is like a TO4. So this thing does have a tune on it. It makes about 330 horse and 400 foot-pounds of torque. Bruce City Boost is the tuner, and yeah. So one of the things that it does is it peaks really soon, so it makes its full torque at like 2,200 RPMs, and then it just falls off really hard up top, and this thing revs to like 6,500 RPM. So I was thinking either, since this is the 3582 off of the Civic, I was thinking that would be a good match, or I was thinking about putting the 3582 on the Mustang, the 2J that's in the Mustang, and then actually putting the 3076 on this thing. And I think that would give us a little bit quicker spool, kind of maintain some of that stock like V8 like torque. It's just crazy. You could literally drive this thing like a V8 and just lug it like everywhere because it has so much freaking torque. But I don't know. What do you think? 3076, 3582, or just not even mess with it and just drive it just because it works how it is, and that's pretty much how it is. But some people have tuned these things up to about 600 horsepower on the stock engines in these things. I do have an upgraded clutch for it. I don't know, it's just been kind of, I know I have a lot of projects going around, but I just figured I'd show you guys that real quick because I've been really thinking about that, and I've ordered the T3 flange for it already, and I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool to make like a really simple turbo manifold for it and then bolt one of these things on, but it might be a little bit better to actually do it with a like an internally wastegated turbo instead of the externally gated. That's how the OEM one is too. But let me know what you guys think about that. That is about it for here at the shop today. So we're gonna cut to a couple little clips of us at the hospital with little baby Kinsley and Jamie. So yeah, let's cut to that. Jamie, good morning. What is today?
It's baby day.
Is it baby day?
Yeah.
So where are we at? Are you leaking?
Yeah.
So we are at the hospital.
Baby time.
It's baby time. So Jamie's
Exactly.
water broke this morning
At like 6:30?
6:30, and it is 9:18 right now. So we
That's what happened last time too. I woke up early in the morning.
All right, sweetie, how you doing?
I had a baby.
There she is.
I'm gonna bring her home. Baby sister.
Baby sister, yeah. This place is really nice. It's like a hotel room, pretty much. So we got everything pretty much packed up, ready to go. This has been my bed for the past 2 nights. We got a nice little view up there. You can see the mountains. We got all kinds of stuff. We've been watching TV. The baby's been eating stuff. sucking on you. I'm now officially outnumbered. Is
3 to 1.
pretty much what it is. I'm just an outnumbered dude. So yeah, we're just waiting on a couple discharge paperwork things for the baby. Jamie got discharged yesterday, but they wanted to keep the baby like 24 hours. Basically, we had her July 1st at 11:16, I believe, was the official time. Came out. Jamie was a freaking champion. Pushed her out. No epidural, no nothing. She did a good job.
She's smiling. Oh my
Come
goodness.
here. Who is that? Is that a baby?
Sit in those chips. Did
You gonna come sit?
No, I might squish the baby.
You won't squish her.
Oh
You
my
can come
goodness.
sit.
Put you on there?
You come look at her.
You wanna come sit with mommy? I can move the pillow.
She's so cute.
Oh
She
my
looks just like
goodness.
you. Here.
You wanna come sit?
Oh my goodness.
What's she doing?
Oh. She's beautiful, huh, Carson? What's her name?
That baby Kinsley.
It's baby Quincy.
Look at mommy's tummy went away.
What's she doing? Oh, she's crying. What should we do?
We need it for some milk.
You think? She hungry?
No, she wants milk.
Do you want to give her some milk?
Tukino is brushing her hair. Oh my
Oh, she's in with you, huh?
Yeah. She wants to pull my hair.
Does she? She's gonna hide her face. You like a daddy? Say cheese.
Please.